AITA, for refusing to pay for my brother's lavish wedding even though I can afford it. I, 32F, have always been someone who takes pride in working hard for what I have. Growing up, it was pretty clear that my younger brother, Jake, 29M, was the golden child, while I was expected to be the responsible one. From the time I was old enough, I started working part-time jobs, saving for college, and paying for most of my own things. Meanwhile, Jake was handed pretty much everything on a silver platter. My parents covered all his hobbies, bought him a car, and even helped him with rent well into his 20s. As for me, I had to figure things out on my own from a young age. To be honest, I've tried not to hold a grudge about it. I know my hard work paid off in the long run. I now have a great job, own my home, and have managed to save a decent amount of money, which gives me a sense of financial security. Jake, on the other hand, is only now starting to get his life together. He's always been a bit too laid back when it comes to working hard because he was used to our parents stepping in to bail him out when things went wrong. Now here's where things get complicated. Jake is getting married soon and surprise, surprise, he wants a massive wedding. We're talking about a destination wedding, an expensive venue, designer clothes for the bride, the works. My parents have always given Jake what he wanted, but now they're not in the best financial position after years of helping him out. They can't really afford to give him the wedding of his dreams anymore, but instead of rethinking the plan, Jake is still pushing for the extravagant celebration. And guess who my parents think should step in to cover the costs? Yep, me. A few weeks ago, they sat me down and gave me the classic, "You're doing so well, and Jake deserves this" speech. They basically asked me to cover a significant portion of Jake's wedding costs because I can afford it. I was shocked, to say the least. I told them right then and there that I wasn't going to pay for Jake's wedding. If Jake and his fiancée want this big, luxurious event, they need to figure out how to pay for it themselves. It's not my responsibility to make it happen. Well, that didn't go over well. My parents immediately started guilt-tripping me, saying things like, family helps family, and that Jake's wedding should be a special day. They also mentioned how Jake's fiancée has all these high expectations now, and it wouldn't be fair to her if they couldn't give her the wedding she's been dreaming of. The pressure has been nonstop. Jake hasn't directly asked me for money, but he's been making passive-aggressive comments about how some people in the family could easily make this wedding happen but are choosing not to. It's incredibly frustrating. Yes, I could technically afford to help, but why should I? I worked my butt off for everything I have. I saved, budgeted, and made sacrifices to get where I am today. Jake, on the other hand, has never had to do any of that. He's relied on our parents for most of his life, and now I'm expected to fund his dream wedding? For context, I didn't even have a big wedding myself, and now I'm supposed to bankroll someone else's? What makes it worse is that now I'm being painted as the selfish one in the family. My parents are practically begging me to help, and even a couple of friends have made comments like, if you're in a position to help, why not just do it? But honestly, it feels wrong to me. Jake and his fiancée should be planning a wedding that's within their means, not expecting me to be their financial backup plan. To make matters worse, Jake's fiancée is on board with this whole idea. She apparently has her heart set on this elaborate wedding, and it seems like everyone's bending over backward to make it happen, except me. I can't help but feel like this whole situation is incredibly unfair. Just because I've been responsible with my finances doesn't mean I owe anyone, especially when it comes to something like this. So here I am, stuck between wanting to stand my ground and feeling like everyone is against me. I know I could help them, but I also know I shouldn't have to. Jake and his fiancée need to be realistic about their budget, and my parents need to stop enabling his behavior. AITA for refusing to pay for my brother's wedding, even though I could easily afford it? I feel like I'm being unfairly judged, but maybe I'm missing something? Am I really the bad guy here?